Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on this look right here. And I'll also be showing you swatches of my two new palettes from the Futurism collection from Kaleidos Cosmetics. This is the Futurism IV VR Neon palette and this is the Futurism V Electro Turquoise palette. Now these palettes have been out for a minute now. They're not new. They're relatively new, but they're not the new. Kaleidos, they are a company in China, I believe, because these products shipped from China. And they came out with 3 palettes prior to this palette, also part of the Futurism collection, Futurism 1, 2, and 3. And of those 3 palettes, I did buy one of them. I bought the Futurism 1, the Sci-Fi Green palette. And this is what she looks like. A lot of people have been calling it a dupe for the Melt Cosmetics, one of the Melt palettes. And it is beautiful. So I did exercise some restraint by buying just the one. You have seen this in a previous video. I think it might have been a haul video. You saw this palette. And I still have yet to use it. I haven't even gotten around to using it yet. I felt like I was doing a lot of green and blue looks, so I didn't touch this one. But yeah, I have not yet used this one. Didn't know the quality of the eyeshadows, but that didn't stop me from ordering 2 more eyeshadow palettes from them. And so this came out this summer, relatively recently. I wasn't able to get my hands on it the first time around. It is a limited edition because they sold out, but thankfully they restocked them and I jumped right on it. And these are the 2 new palettes. So this is, can we just talk about the box, the packaging for a minute? This was for the first Futurism, the first 3 palettes. And I got this beautiful box for 1 palette, and it was presented really nicely. There was a nice little green ribbon in it and a little card, and it's packaged really well, and the whole box came in crazy bubble wrap. And you can tell they really took care to make sure that these palettes get out to their customers without breakage or any damage, which I really appreciate. So that was the packaging for the first Futurism collection. And then this, which is very much more vibrant, more spring, summer-like, is the packaging for the new one. Absolutely gorgeous. And then it continues on the inside, and then the palettes are in here again in this like foam casing. Again, it was bubble wrapped to the 9s, and then inside are the 2 palettes. They cost $24 a piece, and Kaleidos has several different options. I bought both of them for $48 and free shipping. But they also have where you can buy all 5 of the palettes, the whole collection. They have where you can buy 3 of the palettes of your choosing. So you pick any 3 to bundle together, and you get them all at a small discount when you bundle them in that way. I believe you get a small discount when you bundle them that way. So I think that's a great idea, because I did think about buying the 2 palettes I didn't purchase, and then these 2 as well, but again, I exercised some restraint and only bought the 2. So can we talk about the packaging of these palettes? I mean, they are luxe. You are really, from the box that they came in to the actual eyeshadow palettes themselves, it's like this heavy, nice quality, feels like quality cardboard. They have a magnetic opening, and the artwork is so pretty, so pretty. And then you open them up. They're slender and fairly sleek and compact, and you open them up, and you have 6 eyeshadows. You have a little mirror that goes the length of the package, and then you have an insert that has the names on it, and it's really beautiful. They really remind me, the packaging really reminds me of the Pat McGrath mini palettes. Like luxe. For $24 per palette, which I think is relatively affordable, you get a nice sort of luxurious experience with this packaging. So I really love that. You don't have to spend $65 or $138 to get some really nice artwork and really nice packaging. And then the shadows are very pigmented. They swatched really pigmented. These metallic shades, oh my goodness, I did not realize until I used them today that how glittery they are. They're really glittery. Very pretty. I would suggest you use a glitter glue. I didn't use a glitter glue. I just used a damp brush to apply them, but I did have some fallout, you know, on my face that I did pick up with some tape. So I would suggest you might want to go in with a glitter glue to minimize that, but so pretty. And the color story of this one in particular, the Futurism 5, is this the 5? This is the 4. The Futurism 4, the VR Neon palette, just really spoke to me, especially for summer. This is like a quintessential summer palette. And then the turquoise palette, also beautiful. So today I opted to use the VR Neon palette to complete this look today. I used all of the shades in the palette. So if you would like to see how I created this look using the Futurism 4 VR Neon palette, and to hear my thoughts and first impressions after using it for the first time today, then keep on watching. Starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. And I'm going to try not to blend this too far above my crease. I want to try to keep it contained because trying to blend that out from underneath my brow is way too difficult. I'm going to go into the Futurism palette, and I'm going to start with the shade Boss, and it is this really bright orange matte shade and nicely pigmented, as you can see. I'm going to start off by tapping it onto my crease and then going back, using back and forth motions to blend it out. It was a little difficult. I think it might be because of this very dry ABH primer, but it worked out, and the pigmentation is really nice. I'm glad to see that the brightness and the true color of this shadow remained. And continuing to blend up into the crease. Now I'm going back into the palette, and I'm taking Game Over, and it is this really nice, rich, deep red matte shade. And I'm going to first tap that onto the outer V area, and then I'm going to blend it into my crease using back and forth motions and circular motions. And these two shades go very nicely together. To be so pigmented, it was nice to find that they were not hard to blend, these eyeshadows. Back in the palette, and I'm taking Easter Egg and a damp this is a damp Sigma brush, and I'm going to place that on the outer portion, well, like 3/4 of my lid, and I'm going to go in the crease and a little bit above the crease. And it's just a really pretty glittery shimmer metallic shadow. And I'm just making sure it gets blended out into the crease and the lid. Now I am taking the hologram shade. This is also a damp brush. This is my Makeup Geek flat shader brush. And I'm going to put that on the inner portion of the lid and the crease, making sure to tap it and blend it into that Easter Egg shade, because you want to make sure that those two shades blend seamlessly together. And then I'm going back in with Easter Egg to do some more blending. And now I'm taking that deep red shade again and blending that onto the lid as well, because as always you want a seamless blend. And this is a shadow with no brush. This is a clean brush, and I'm just blending out the edges of those shadows in the crease. And then I'm going to take this yellow shade Level Up, and I'm going to try to blend that on the outer edges of that very first crease shade, but it didn't really show up very well. It didn't really show up at all, to be honest. And now I'm just cleaning up where I went out of bounds with that shadow. I didn't get a lot of fallout. I did get some from those glittery metallic shades though. And now I'm taking the ColourPop cream gel liner, and I don't remember what this shade is. I think it's Boots. A pretty pink. And now I'm just taking those shades I started off with, and I'm going to blend them onto the lower lash line. This is Boss again, and I'm going to put that on the inner half of the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go in with that Game Over, that red shade again, and I'm going to place that on the outer lower lash line and connect these two eyeshadows that look very similar on the lower lash line. And now I'm taking Glitch, and that's the neon green, and my Makeup Geek pencil brush. I'm going to pack that on into my inner corner, and upon first application it does look quite bright, but then once I keep blending it does turn a bit darker, which is kind of disappointing. And this is the completed look. I don't remember what the lashes are. But I used all of the shades in the palette. So a really pretty palette. I didn't have any issues applying the shadows. I didn't have any issues blending them. I did have to put a little extra elbow grease in them, I think, because to blend the one in the crease particularly, because of the ABH eye primer. I'm still fighting with this primer. You know, it dries, it gets really matte. It does grip onto the shadows, but I felt like because of the primer, and it was pretty dry by the time I went in with the shadows, I think it made it a little harder to blend. But as you saw, they did blend out, and the vibrancy of the orange and the red remained. They didn't darken once I applied them, which can happen with some really bright pressed pigments, for example, or neon shadows. They look one way when you swatch them or when you see them in the pan, but once I apply them to my eye, I don't know, maybe it's my skin tone is dark, I don't know, but when you blend them, they can come out a little darker and lose some of that punch. But that wasn't the case with the orange or the red. The green, the green shadow in my inner corner, it did turn out a little darker. It's definitely not as neon on my eye as it is in the pan. And when I first tap it on, it is neon, but then as I keep tapping and start to blend, it did darken up a bit. And then the yellow shade, I really didn't see it at all, but I did blend it across and over that orange shade, and it was no match for that orange shade. So I don't think I can really assess it properly. I would have to use it on its own to see if it would show up on my skin at all before I could really judge it. But aside from those two shades, I didn't have any problems. Let me turn it the right way. I didn't have any problems with the color or the blending of any of these shades right here. Very, very, very pretty. So yes, I am glad I have added these palettes to my collection. I am looking forward to using the other two. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see looks using one of the other two palettes. Let me know in the comments below if you picked up either one of these palettes or any of the other Kaleidos Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes and what your experience has been with them. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and consider subscribing, because I do tutorials along with makeup hauls, swatches, and reviews here on my channel every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.